Let's see if anybody come in here. See who's in. Hey, Carolyn, what's up? Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, cool. All right. I don't know who else came in. Anybody else come in? Let's see. Okay, I just see you right now. I'm gonna give it a few minutes to see if people come in. Guys, if you're coming on, whether now or later, please give us a like, a thumbs up, share it out. We got more coming here. I'm working on it. I'm just gonna do some talking today. How you doing today, Carolyn? No, she heard me. Girl, say that. 'Cause I got up this morning. Did you watch the inauguration? Yeah, it was pretty powerful. I'm actually gonna be posting something here that I did on the Christian channel on the face. I do Facebook Live, so I did my Facebook Live right before this for the Christian channel, and I'm gonna go ahead and share it. I don't share everything from there here, but there's things that sometimes I feel led to share, and I'm gonna share um, what I posted there here, and hopefully it'll bless people. Cause yeah, hey Edward, what's up, man? How you doing? You being safe? Yeah, so I'm gonna post that up. Actually, it's already uploaded. I think it's just processing right now, and I'll get it all set up and have that posted, and I post it on my Christian channel too. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing more videos, so I'll be on here a little bit more, but this channel is definitely gonna take a change. Um, right now, what I'm working on, I'll show y'all because I'm gonna just share some of what I'm gonna start dealing is sharing just my day-to-day life. Not every day, but I don't know if I'm gonna do a weekly check-in or a monthly check-in. I haven't decided how I'm gonna do it. If I'm gonna do like every Monday or every Sunday. On Sundays lately, I've been getting up and kind of just been led to do messages for the Christian channel. So I do a Facebook Live on there on what I feel God has given me. So I do that. I'm going to kind of take you through it. I'm still getting settled into this apartment. So y'all see that shelf behind me? That came from my big storage unit. And I moved my big storage unit out a couple of months ago, but I still have stuff that I'm unpacking. I'll take you on a little tour, a semi tour. This is the bedroom I'm in right now. Usually, recently I've been sitting at the desk in the living room where I work from and been doing some of the videos from there, but I'm in the bedroom now and I got the tripod, which makes a huge difference because I got the phone on here. So I got the iPhone on here, and this iPhone is wonderful from that ghetto mobile I had before, right? So the iPhone, it has pretty good picture on it. Um, you're connected with me on Facebook, Carolyn? If it's under the Shannon one, I do have a under my regular name. I have one, but that's usually people from family in high school. I don't even really, I really don't even go onto that Facebook. The other one is you probably if you're under the Trucker Doll, you might have me under there, and then the Revelation Life um would be the other one, which is the ministry one, and then I have the Getting Saucy, which is mainly the barbecue sauce that I'm gonna be really working on here. I ordered the bottles. The bottles came in. I got funnels. I've got most of the ingredients that I normally use. Those are coming in. I'm gonna be ordering a specialty batch of ketchup for the sugar-free version. Since I'm now borderline diabetic, I need to get a sugar-free version because I know that that's critical for some people. So I'm going to be working on that. I pretty much have an idea because it's going to be almost the same exact sauce I have. It's just I'm going to be using more sugar-free based ingredients. Instead of brown sugar, I'll be using a sugar substitute. Instead of ketchup with sugar, I'll be getting more of a natural ketchup that has no sugar added. So we'll be doing that and seeing. I want to see how that impacts the flavor. Um, there's still going to be sugar in it because I do use alcohol in my barbecue sauce. So I use beer, I use wine. Beer and wine obviously have sugar, but the sugar content in those things should be minimal if I can alleviate it if I can alleviate it in the ketchup, and I can alleviate it in the other use of brown sugar, and I'll use a sugar substitute instead of brown sugar. So I have an idea. I'm gonna do a batch and see how it tastes and go that route. Baby Ray's, okay. I don't know. I think I'm gonna put Baby Ray to shame because I have a mean barbecue sauce. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I'll toot my own horn on that. The barbecue sauce I came up with is tough, and I have different versions of it. I'm gonna be working mainly on the red. Hold on for a second. Okay, I don't know. Okay, they asked me about that. But my dentist, I have to have dental work done, and I done gone through all sorts of fiasco having to do different labs to try to get this dental work done because I'm on a blood thinner, and so I just got the results, and I'm hoping these are good enough. I'm a little off on my results, but I think it's because I've started taking supplements, and I think it has impacted what's called my INR, which is the level of thinness of my blood. But it hasn't made me too thin. I'm now too thick. Well, it's like the your blood thins out so it doesn't clot. So I need to get. I'm just a hair under where I need to, a hair under where I need to be. So I've got to talk to my doctor and send her the supplements that I'm on, and then see what other adjustments we may need to make. And I have not had to make an adjustment with my meds for well over. I'm 52. I started at 29. It's been a long time. I like when I first started. So I have not had to make major adjustments with my meds, but I've started taking supplements due to age, So and some of the supplements I take are helping with my diabetes. So you can take certain things like cinnamon, um, fish oil. It helps with your blood pressure, things like that. So I've implemented those into my diet, into my daily routine, and I believe that it may be having an impact on my blood thinner. So they may have to make an adjustment. I'll probably have to add 2.5 at the end of a week, which I'm gonna reach out and I'll find out what she wants me to do. But I think we're gonna have to make a very minor adjustment, and then I'll have to go do another lab here in a little bit. But the channel is definitely. Let me see who came in. So I got Carolyn said something. Edward said something. We got other people watching, but they ain't said nothing. Um, the chat, and if whoever's watching, please give us a like, thumbs up, and share it out, okay? But the channel, as I said, it's gonna be changing. I'll be doing. I don't know if like I said, I don't know if it's gonna be weekly. Might be a bit much for me because I'm still trying to get settled in here. And what I may do is just some videos where I'm not live, but I do know that people like to engage on the live level with me. So I'll probably do some lives. I don't know if it's gonna be once a month or twice a month. I know that I've already got hit up. People want to see the cooking videos. That's something that people have told me they definitely want to see. You guys check the community board. I do have a community board now for the page. Once you get to a certain number of subscribers, you get community boards. I have a community board, and I did post my lunch today. One of my associates, the one who told me you really need to go on and get that barbecue sauce going. And I'm like, okay. She said, I just sense the Lord's telling me you need to get that barbecue sauce on and hit, because she calls me a food artist. Because like I said, my family, my mother's side, that's our thing. Our family had I think one of the first soul food restaurants here on my mother's side in Arizona. And my grandmother, my mother's mother, worked for the lady, Miss Tiffany Jewelers, the Tiffany family. She worked for them, and she was a cook for them. And our family still knows. My mother and my aunt still deal with the lawyer from today. Hey, Chicago BBW, what's up? Um, good, and she worked for them, and they still deal with the lawyer today. Actually, he helped me. I got hit by a drunk driver when I was a teenager on my bike, and he handled my case. So I mean, I've been very blessed, and as far as things, I look at my life, and while, like I said, financially, I'm not where I was. I'm blessed. I don't. I'm at peace. For the most part, I'm in a very peaceful state of existence right now. With some exceptions, but those things I'm putting in God's hands. Um, I got some corporate things I'm praying on right now, and those are all in God's hands. I just, I can you can try to bridge a divide as much as you want, but if folks just don't care for you, they don't. And you, I'm like, hey, just because I'm a quiet and private person, I'm not gonna be out here. Kwasi, what's up, honey? How you doing? You being safe out there? Texas. What, Kwasi, what part of Texas? I lived in Lubbock with my dad for a minute. My brother's in Dallas. What part of Texas you in, baby? And welcome to the channel. I like that name, Kwasi. I hope I said it right. Anybody joining us? This is just, we're going to just shoot some shiz for a little bit, and I'm going to show y'all some of what I'm doing and just talk to you. So the channel is going to be taking on more of just me and my life, my day-to-day life, maybe some of how I think. I never really wanted to go down the political divide, but I did kind of open the door. I'm not going to go deep down that road because it's not a rabbit trail I like to go down. I'm also very conservative. A lot of people may see that differently in what you see conservative, but I'm an independent, but I'm very conservative. I can vote on either side of the aisle depending on what I've seen in a person. Like right now, I do like Mitt Romney. He's like a shining star to me. I was like, ooh, boy, if I'd have known who you were back in the day when you first ran for prez, we could talk. Because I was very impressed with how he's handled himself. I was impressed with what I saw today, and I'm praying for them. Praying that things get handled correctly. I'm praying for him too. I pray for Trump. I don't have any ill will. I don't agree with a lot of stuff, but I did agree with some. I understood while he was in office. There's not a doubt on a biblical side. I understand. And I know some African Americans may disagree with me, but if you say you Christian and you believe in the Bible I believe in, it says God places kings, and I believe God put them there for a reason. We may not have liked everything we saw, but out of all good and bad comes something that God is doing. And we have to understand, I believe that everything that happened in his tenure happened for a reason, good, bad, and even in folks, as madness as it was hanging on the side of that building, it happened for a reason. I think it sparked something we've lost in America. We've lost um, the fact that we are Americans. I know you are, Edward. We've lost that we are America. I got African American, very close friends of mine who are Trump supporters. It don't matter to me. I see people for people, and I don't. I'm not going down an angry bandwagon over stuff. I'm not even Trump, because Trump reminds me of my father, so I can't be angry. They very much remind me, and my father's African American, Trump is white. They remind me of two men, two grown males. I'm calling men grown males, but I what to me, it might not have come the way we needed or way we thought it would come, but we've become so self-centered individually that we didn't see ourselves as a collective whole. And with all of the division that took place under that administration, and we saw how divided we became, I think that needed to happen. We also saw our self-centeredness. I always said that he, in my opinion, from a Christian standpoint, God gave us us. He gave us a very selfie, self-centered, self-mindset. Well, that's indicative of the culture that we have. It's all about each individual one of us instead of us as a collective whole. And I think the things that took place all of a sudden have us stepping back as Americans and saying, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. We're a collective whole. Today's songs had meaning that lost meaning to us. When you heard the songs that were sung, our national anthem being sung, it had meaning because my mind flashes back to somebody hanging on the side of a building going to hurt another American. Is it 2021? Are you crazy? But now I think we've had to step back and say it's not just about me, it's about us. And we are Americans. And let's get back to that, those fundamental principles. And we're a country of a mishmash of people. That's what the Statue of Liberty represents, sitting in the harbor in New York. So either we stand for that or we don't. And it can't just be just about me. Now, I count. I do count. And I need to know I count. But I don't just count independently for me. I count as a collective whole of this country. So, like I said, I everything happens for a reason. And Everybody serves a purpose, and from a Christian standpoint, God places kings. He put Trump there, and he put Biden there, and now we got to see what's going to happen. Um, I was sharing something which I'm going to still put up, but I'll share it here. When I watched the inauguration today, um, let's see, hold on. I'm originally from Cape Coast, Ghana. Hold on, I want to read this on Kwasi, and then I'll come back to the inauguration. Thank, thank you, Chicago BBW. I just read what you wrote. I'm originally from Cape. This is from Kwasi, y'all. Y'all might be seeing it, but it says I'm originally from Cape Coast, Ghana. All right. I spent majority of my life growing up in Austin. I wanted to move to Austin, beautiful city, and a little far Rockaway, Queens. Okay, Queens, New York. All right. I'm living in San Antonio now. I got a homegirl in San Antonio. Okay, that's a pretty city too. I drove the truck through San Antonio. I used to deliver out to HEB out in the San Antonio area. Y'all all right. Little barbecue place. I think it was barbecue. Across, look, y'all see my fat but no food. It was a barbecue place across from I think it was a Petro out in San Antonio. Bomb. They were pretty good. Little hole in the wall. It was all right. But I'm a Texas barbecue fan anyway. All right, let me see if I missed anything. Edward asked me what I cook. He said cinnamon cookies. See, Edward, that's truck driver. I know you like food. See, truck drivers, we like food. Oh, you said I don't guess I'm connected. Carolyn, I read that wrong. I thought you said you were connected with me. Because I'm thinking, I ain't never seen your name on there. Just look up, you can link to me. If you do Trucker Doll, you can still get to me Trucker Doll on Facebook. Because I still have the Trucker Doll section on Facebook. What was I going to say? You know which one I'm talking about then. That Petro over there in San Antonio, and there's like a little hole in the wall barbecue spot across the street, if I remember correctly. Okay, look, Edward even know what I'm talking about. Look, truckers, we know, child, I can tell you food. Look, my fat butt no food. Lord, I got to work on it. I used to park my truck at the Petro. Okay, all right. All right, yeah. I won't be going back OTR. I would have to be desperate to go back OTR. I'm not doing OTR. The most I would do is something local. And I got local connections. If I had to drive again, it's gonna be local. I can't. I got local connections, so I can't. I'm done. You know, the body's not there anymore. The whole mentality of doing OTR trucking is not there anymore. And I got love for my truckers. I do. I be praying for y'all every night. I do. And y'all don't even know some of the office stuff I be praying. Because now my calls are now, I'm supposed to be 4 minutes and 30 seconds on calls to help drivers. I got nothing. And he wants them to get them down to 1 to 2 minutes, no more than 1 to 2 minutes per call. I was like, Lord help us, Lord. Anyway, we just leave that in Jesus' hands. Y'all have no idea. Anyway, so what the channel's gonna be doing, just I've kind of mentioned it. I'll be doing some cooking. I'm gonna take y'all out to the garden. I have gotten some garden stuff, and I just haven't gone out there and done it. The garden was really nice, but now when winter hit, right now my okra plant is still there. I really haven't been watering it. I probably just need to pull the stalks up and start a new okra plant again. It did very well. I mean, it grew well. It didn't do good because I really didn't have the right soil. I got a few okra stalks, y'all. Draining. My allergies have been on stealth because we had a new season change. Every time the season starts changing, we just had rain. It's gotten cooler. Arizona, we've been between 60 and 70 degrees. So it's Arizona, like I said, anybody moving to Arizona, it's very nice here. We don't normally have really, our weather year round is pretty decent, but it's starting to get cooler. Food wise, though, I'll be doing some cooking. I'm also gonna be ordering a barbecue grill. Y'all be able to see me grill. I am also an urban prepper, so I'm gonna let y'all know that. I'll probably talk about that. I believe that, and let's just get into that a little bit. What we saw was good, but also what we heard. People sometimes don't listen. The road ahead is going to be long, and it's going to be long for a lot of people. There's people who are struggling in employment. people who've lost jobs, people who are going to have to step down to jobs that are lesser. One of the reasons the apartment I'm in right now, this apartment was built probably in 1950 something. I only pay $665 a month. I'm very open about that. The rents here in Arizona, though, the average rent is $1,400 a month. I just happen to have a real estate agent who knew me. And I told her what I was looking for. She'd done business with me before. And so I was very blessed, and she got this. It's private owner, complex. It's not the shiny nickel, but it's. I like older apartments. Like if when my finances are back to normal, once I get all the credit stuff cleaned up, I got to do a Chapter 7. Once I get all that cleaned up, um, I'm going to probably buy another piece of property, but I want an older home. Now, if I can, depending on where I'm at and what my financial situation is, I personally would like to be up in the mountains somewhere here in Arizona if I end up staying here in Arizona. Let's say I ended up back, I don't know that Texas is where I would end up back in, but let's say that was somewhere I ended up back in. I don't see that because I do like areas such as Austin. I like your Rockwall, Texas. I loved. I thought that was a beautiful city. Um, but I believe God brought me back here to Arizona for a reason, and I don't know that that's something I'm going to move from. But I would like an older home. I want to be able to where I could pull my truck up in a like a I would love an Airstream trailer or some kind of RV and be able to take that out and go up in the mountains or travel around the country as I wished. If I could actually live just traveling around the country in an RV, that's what I would probably do and only come home every so often. But I'm an urban prepper because I believe, and it's something I've gone back to some old school roots that I learned from my grandparents. My grandmother, my grandmother, my grandfather on both sides, they were from the Depression. So there were things they did. They had canned goods, they had frozen goods, toilet paper. This mess that we had in 2020 when the whole pandemic happened and folks bought all the toilet paper off the shelf. When we went in, my friend, I'm kind of laughing, and it's not that it was necessarily funny, ha ha, but it was kind of funny, cray cray. So I'm just like, this is crazy as hell. And I'm gonna read that in a minute, Edward. I'm looking at the toilet paper gone off the shelf. And I'm thinking, this is really crazy as hell. So for me, every time I went to the grocery store, how I was raised, you buy toilet paper and sometimes paper towel. You run out of paper towel, it's not a big deal. But toilet paper, you always have something to wipe the butt, right? I just didn't understand. I didn't understand. Do people not buy toilet paper? I just was like, what do you do? Buy just a week's worth? I don't know. It just seemed weird to me. Because I had a closet with probably at least a minimum of a month and a half to 2 months worth of toilet paper in it. It just was fortunate I had just gotten my new glasses and we had been by Costco because that's where I got my glasses from. And I'm like, oh, I told my buddy Jojo, let me run in here real quick and grab some Costco toilet paper. And that's the big, the big pack. And I love their toilet paper. It lasts forever. I didn't understand. So when we were going to the stores and we were just trying to get basic staples, even in my house, I didn't have like a bunch, but I had beans. I had a couple bags of beans. I had bags of rice. Um I had some lentils. I mean, I had some dry staples. I even had a little cabinet full of canned goods. I had some corn and um I think I had some peas and I might have had some cans of soup. I had food in my freezer and refrigerator. So I wasn't going to be hungry, but I was just really kind of discombobulated at what I was seeing. So to me, 2020 should have brought back to us a resurgence of some things. One, gardening. We definitely want to get back to that. I like gardening anyway. One, gardening and growing some of your own foods and vegetables, being somewhat self-sufficient. You should be self-sufficient to a degree. And B, canned goods. Now, I don't have a canner. That's going to be one of my other things. I am going to get a canner for some of the things that are going to be coming out the garden. There's some people that take canning to a whole nother level. Like I will not be canning meat. I've seen I've seen some of these preppers who are canning brisket and chickens. That's a little beyond me. Canning eggs, I'm not going to do that. I can't. That's just way beyond the scope to me. But if that's your thing, do you, homie. Soups, beans, peas, um, pasta sauce, peppers, salsa. I get that. I get that. that comes out of a garden. It should be, as you can it for survival for longer down the line. Jelly, I get that. I get that. Sauces, I get that. But I do not get canning meat, like chicken, and that's weird to me. But anyway, so, and the most that canned meats go, any kind of meat would be what's in a soup. That's would be most it, but that's it. Anyway, so I actually have been doing. I've been buying canned goods because I had a unctioning and dreaming about food issues, which we are seeing in our country, but I think could possibly be worse. So I've been going back to some old school methods of storing. I'm gonna turn y'all around here in a minute so you can see it. So I have supplies in the hallway. I have supplies here. Now I've always been kind of a prepper. I always have been. My grandparents always had canned goods. I probably had always a good 6 months worth of canned goods. Right now I'm trying to get to a year's worth, and I want to have my household where I can have at least a minimum of 2 people. It's only me here, but if, for example, I have to look at Grumpy because he is old. Worst case scenario, he ended up here. I do have another family member here. God knows I'm not somebody I really want to have to deal with, but it is a very close blood relative. And if there was a situation, I want to be able to be a blessing to help, um, even if they weren't always the best to me. You still don't do evil for evil. That's a biblical saying. So I have prepped in the sense of 2 people. I would say right now I probably have a good 6 months of food on hand, can wise. Um, and I'm going to show y'all that, talk about that. Some people may think it's strange, some people may get on board. I think there's wisdom in it. I think there was wisdom in what my grandparents did. And I know because of some of those things, when all this whole thing happened with the pandemic, I wasn't out here stressing about toilet paper. I wasn't, matter of fact, I had, like I said, 2 to 3, about 2 months worth of toilet paper in my closet. And when my toilet paper started getting close, I found out about Instacart. So I really never had to stand in line for toilet paper. I have to stand in line really for nothing. I didn't. God has really blessed me. I ended up getting a hold of Instacart. I found out they delivered from Costco. I saw the toilet paper. I'm like, I'm gonna see if they're gonna really do this. Sure enough, my neighbor's like, hey, you need some help with some of your stuff? No, I'm good, homeboy. I'm all right. Instacart, y'all might want to get with that. I got this, and I lift all my stuff in my house. And so right now I have a closet. In my closet, I will tell you I probably have 5 months worth of toilet paper in there. And I'm gonna head it to where it'll have about a year's worth, so that I'm not ever gonna have to worry about that. My grandmother, I'm going back to some very fundamental, almost depression era thinking. And my grandmother was someone, when you went to her house, she had a freezer outside. And my father said when he grew up with her, this is his mother, he remembered her canning, but she had a freezer outside full of food. My grandmother, when you go, baby, you want some apple Betty and some dumplings? And she go right out to that freezer and pull her little Ziploc and little foil bag out and go heat it up on the stove for you. She also is a person that washed her Ziplocs. I've gotten back to some of that, and even washed tinfoil, and I've gotten back to some of that. I mean, that may seem crazy, but I'm finding that's better. And I'm also starting to cook more. I still order out on occasions because I have cravings, but there's things that I'm having cravings for that I'm also learning. I'm getting ready to learn how to make. Like, I'm a huge Vietnamese pho soup person. So I'm going to learn how to make it, and I'll take y'all on that journey. But I'll show y'all what I'm doing here in prepping. Let me read these notes here, y'all, because I just got in here to chin wag a little bit. Cinnamon cookies. All right. What are cinnamon cookies called? They're called something else. Snickerdoodles. That's what cinnamon cookies are, I believe is a nickname for them. And Edward, I cook a lot of stuff. I'll get into that in a minute. Oh, Kwasi, you local with a union? A buddy of mine who started in trucking with me, we were in trucking school together. Mike was working for Consolidated Grocers and their union. I think that was them union. That's good. If you can get with a union trucking company, smart. Tasha, I'll explain why the rents are going up here in Arizona. Okay, Edwardsville, South Carolina. Yeah, I have a friend of mine. She's a flight attendant, and that's where she's been wanting to move to Charlotte. I think it's Charlotte. Is it Charlotte? She's a flight attendant. And she wants to buy property in Charlotte. I think that's where she wants to. She's been working. Shanae's been working for Continental. Well, it was Continental now. Is it United? United now, and she's been working for them for over 20 years because we used to work together at Chase Bank. And she's one of the people that mentored me into management back when we were supervisor account dispute escalation supervisors there, and she was one of my people that mentored me. So she later went and became a flight attendant and left Chase, and then I ended up going to a cellular company. But she's looking at the Carolinas. um, Carolinas are pretty. I will admit. I've been through there. It's gorgeous. I like the greenery, stuff like that. I like Tennessee too. Tennessee, where my aunt's at, is gorgeous. She actually has, well, she has a couple of properties. She has the property she lives in, which is in a really nice area. And then she has a property that's up on a mountain, where like these doctors and lawyers, they build these houses that hang off the edge of the mountain. Gorgeous piece of property. What you gonna do with that, Rose? I don't know, baby. It was a good deal, so I bought it. I'm like, okay. And then the property that I love the most that she has is she had a property. It's an old home. It used to be in a predominantly black neighborhood that is now converted. It's become an urban, popular neighborhood. So it's not us in the neighborhood, it's become gentrified. And it has that wraparound porch and the tin roof. Love that house. When I first saw it, love the house. Hey, Monet, what's up, baby? We just shooting the shiz. So love that house. And so that has been my favorite. Now, so just talking properties, but yeah. So if I ended up buying property here, I want an old home. I already know like a cottage style home. The area that I'm in Phoenix is a historical district, and I would any of the historical districts over here, I would love their house. As a matter of fact, where the dentist office is, that's really used to be very much money, money, money. Um, that area was a lot of doctors and attorneys and stuff back in the day. Beautiful homes up in that area. They're big. I don't necessarily want a house that big, but I like the properties, like how big the properties are, because I'm like, oh, I could do a really nice garden out there. Um, but as far as what I cook and what I'll probably be cooking, I know I want to do some barbecue guys food because I want to introduce the sauce. I know I'm going to do that. Initially, I'm going to order the grill. I don't know if I'll order it this. It'll probably not be this payday, but hopefully the next coming payday. I used to have a smoker, but when I got gentrified out of one of the complexes I was in, the one I moved to, I couldn't have that smoker on. So I sold it, and I wish I could have stored it, but I sold it, and it was nice. It's the old, the metal with the firebox on the side. This one I might be getting is going to possibly be kind of like the green egg, and you still have the smoking capability. Um, I haven't been purchasing meat. Like I told you guys when I came back, I wasn't going to get meat like I was. I have turkeys right now, but they were given to me. The former church I was at, I had one for Christmas and one for Thanksgiving. I cut one of them in half, and half of it's in there. I just cut it up. I just cut it up, and I didn't bake it like a traditional turkey. But I'm also noticing, to me, some of the meats that I've had, either chicken, turkey, and this was a cheaper brand of turkey. So I'm gonna say that it was a cheaper brand of turkey, some brand I don't even know. Let me put how cheap it was. It was so cheap I had to pluck feathers from it. It was so they obviously they didn't have quality control. So I was in the kitchen plucking feathers out the dang turkey. That's how, some no name brand. But I also noticed it did not have the flavor. And I think to me, that's what you feed your meat. It's how your meat is raised. And so I'm analyzing some things dietary. Obviously, guys, I told you health was going to be one of the major issues when I got back here, but then COVID hit. So I know I've gained some weight because I still my double chin. Um, but food is not, some sort of food I can tell is not the same. I was ordering from a Mexican grocer out here because you could get your vegetables really cheap, and they usually have decent vegetables. I ordered a bell pepper and it had no flavor. I'm like, how do you have a bell pepper and it ain't got no flavor? we're gonna talk about the California thing in a minute. I can tell you why all that's happening, Kwasi. We're gonna be talking. I'm gonna mention it because Chicago BBW going by Tasha Westside. She just mentioned it. I'll explain that in a minute on why the rents are going up here and Austin and what's going on. So Californians are moving, and we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the food just didn't have flavor. So what I am gonna do is once I get everything set up, I'm also gonna be getting a little freezer. I'm gonna probably get about a 3 cubic freezer, and I'm going to switch from buying my meats at a regular grocery store to possibly doing one of the either. I have a Sprouts over here and they do organic stuff, but I may go to Butcher Box. And Butcher Box actually delivers your meats to the house, and it is supposedly it's supposed to be like organic, naturally fed, and how they render the animals is different. So I'm going to give them a try and see if I see a difference. I'll also be doing some vegetarian stuff because I actually, while I was not, I for a while I wasn't eating any meat because I don't eat meat all the time. I did a burger today because I had a craving for a burger and some fries, and I had picked up. I got to know the butcher over here at Safeway near my house, and they do sometimes they'll do certain meats that I said, okay, I'll try that. And they had that burger was a jalapeno cheddar burger, and it had chunks of jalapeno and chunks of cheddar cut up in it, and it was chuck. I think it was chuck. I think it was chuck. It was some kind of steak they had chopped up, and you can tell it was a good burger. And I have one other one in there. I don't know if it's feta and something is the other one that's up there. So I don't know, but I'm going to show you guys making the sauce. Obviously, I'm not going to show you all of my secret stuff. I have to do the base first independently because I do a seasoned base, and it's really really thick. It almost looks like a paste, or I'm gonna say almost like mud. It's that thick, and it has a lot of southwestern spices in it. It includes beer, and so I have that in there. And when I get done, it's like a thick paste, and I take scoops of that into the red base of my sauce, and that gives it a different feel. And then I add Southwest chilies in order to bring the flavor. I like heat, so I have a spice level I'm gonna have various spice levels. So right now I got the bottles. I'll be reaching out here, if not next week, a couple weeks out, to a label designer, a designer for the logo, and be doing that here. But also the logo on this channel is going to change. I'm going to get a logo for the channel, and I'm also going to have some t-shirts. So we'll talk. I'll have some merchandise and stuff coming. So there's things coming down the pike with this channel, and I'll be on here more frequently, but it's going to be different. It's going to be very, very different. Oh, Monet, you do like hot stuff. Me and you, we'll talk, and I'll probably try to get you a bottle. I'm gonna bless you with a bottle because you blessed me with that one hot sauce, and we'll talk because you could actually tell them what you think, and I would appreciate that. And I want truth. It's crap, Shannon. No, I'm telling you, you're gonna like it, and if you like it hot, I will make you my hot one. I'm talking about it's spice. It may not be like fire spicy like that, but it'll be a barbecue sauce that will hit. It'll slap. It'll pop. Like the hell? He's like, where the water? Where the water? No, I might need some milk. Yeah, I would do that, and I wish Danielle was around because she would enjoy it. And I don't know. Wendy's got some health challenges, so I'll probably get something out to her. I don't know if hers might be milder, and eventually I want to get some out. And but yeah, and I'm trying right now price level and shipping and handling. I'm thinking about $10 a bottle, but I got to figure out shipping and handling because that's what I'm trying to find out who's going to be the best to ship it because these are glass bottles, and then getting what I need, packaging and stuff like that, and finding out what my cost level is to get the packaging and then get it shipping and handling out. Used to be you could ship for like $5 or $4 or something like that. I'm trying to see if the post office will still do that. I gotta see. And then I'm also getting a virtual mailing address set up. So I got a lot going on. Hey sis, welcome. Y'all welcome. That's my sis. Stop, drop, and roll on. That's my sis. But I gotta get, so I'll be getting that. But I know I'm doing the label for the bottle probably end of the month or beginning of February. It depends on what my money looks like. So budgeting in the labels. The channel's gonna get ready to have a logo change on it, and I'm working in my mind on what I really want this channel. And I think I'm just gonna say it's about my life. It's just about life. And this channel is gonna be just surrounding life, just day-to-day life, and just talking about subjects that count. Um, that's kind of where we're gonna go. And then somebody had a question about something I wanted to address. Rents in Arizona and in Texas. So let's jump there real quick. So what's happened? Y'all know. If y'all watch the inauguration, y'all watch what's going on in the world today. You had all the fires in California, a lot of natural stuff that happened in California, all along that West Coast. You also had a lot of politic things going on along the whole West Coast and in California. But the other thing about California is during the time of this pandemic, we got to put two and two together to equal four. It's expensive for people just to freaking live. And so, if you, and for some of you guys on here who drove a truck, and I know because I saw some areas, if you've not driven through California and parts of California, let me help you. There are parts of California where people are living in tents, broke down RVs underneath the freeways, and areas where I would go by and just pray for them. I had no idea. And I say to myself, why do you stay here in California? Why and for whatever reason there's this thing for some people, but some people woke up and they realized I can't afford to live here. Some people woke up and realized that jobs are gone, and even with jobs, they can't afford to live there. You can't afford to live in California. It is high as hell. And it's unless you are making a certain kind of living, it's almost like living in New York. If you live in certain parts of New York, there's people living in a apartment that's like my closet, just to say I live in New York. I'm like, why do you live in New York? I'm not understanding. But they love the city, they love the life, that's the atmosphere, that's what they want. But some people are waking up saying enough is enough. Also, with this pandemic and the things that happen economically, some people are getting back to basics. TV did a weird. Some people are getting back to life and they want to get back to a more simple life. So, places like Texas, the Carolinas, Arizona, Tennessee, Arizona, we have been a conservative state as long as I was a kid. We're a very laid back state, we're a retirement state. This is a state where people come to retire. We have a city called Sun City for a reason. People come here to retire. It's laid back. That's Arizona. So what has happened is Californians, they sell properties in California, and let's say they sell those properties for millions of dollars, which is usually the case. In Arizona, you can come buy a house in Arizona for. I have a friend who's doing a remodel right now. He says it's around 200,000. 200,000, he could have bought a brand new house. He decided because he has that home, he just wanted to extend and stay in that home. It's his family home. But Arizona, you can buy a house here for a couple 100,000 and have a nice crib. Monet can tell you, you can rent a house here in Arizona and have a nice big crib. She's got a crib right now. Her and her sister and are sharing. They got a pool. They got a nice home. And you can get that. I don't know what she's paying, but I can tell you right now, she's probably paying under 2 grand. And in California, that would cost somebody $5,000, $6,000 or more a month. So the properties and the rents here are going up because Californians are moving here. Same as Texas. And they're moving here and they're moving to places. And Californians, when they move, unfortunately, it tends to drive our prices up. It drives our prices up because they're coming into these states, Oregon and other states, with millions of dollars from a house sale. And so they come in, they want to bid, they want that house, they got to beat the local people here. So that $200,000 house now becomes a $300,000 house. And since they got money, they can come in and if they want, they can pay a year's worth of rent. Californians, it's a different mindset. And some people, I was funny, I was talking to my Lyft driver the other day. I wish they would go back. And we do look at Californians that way because they do have a mindset that's different. Um, we could say the same thing from New Yorkers. Everybody brings their mindset from where they're at. And Californians to me are more materialistic. No offense to y'all if y'all watching, but you are. Um, and it's not about that for me. So that's part of the problem. And that's why you see the prices going up. So Chicago BBW, when you're seeing that happen, it's because our prices are going up because folks is moving here and they're trying to get out of the madness of where they're at. And I think the madness is A, all of the natural disaster that happened in California with the fires. B, a lot of the political stuff going on. I believe C, the financial issues right now, especially with COVID and with the economy. and people are looking for jobs, and people are looking to step back and have a more people are getting back to bare bones basics. I'm going to show you here in the my preps here in a minute. People are getting back to bare bones basics, and they're wanting to get back to simpler life. So, hey Liz, what's up? Welcome. I got your comments from earlier. Thank you about the sandwich. I did a hamburger, y'all, and I put a picture of it on my for lunch. I had a hamburger and fries, and I put it on my page, and Liz made a comment on it. Um, but people are wanting to get back to bare bones, simple lifestyle. They're not wanting to be caught up in um, all the shenanigans anymore. People, you just want simplicity. And after all of the madness, it's so, if you could be back to simplicity, walk out on your porch and sit down and have a cup of coffee or iced tea or tea. People are getting back to that because they've realized that all the materialistic stuff and all these things that they went to attain, and especially when you see the amount of death that we've had with COVID and with other things. I mean, there's been a lot of death in 2020, and we still have death happening in 2022 or 2021. And with all of that, people are starting to look through different glasses at life and say, wait a minute, I've been on this treadmill, but I haven't been really living life. People have been working to get things, but not enjoy life. And things don't make life always good. You can have a lot of things, and it's not going to meet everything you need. Um, I'm gonna tell you like this, Chicago BBW. When I'm replying to Tasha Westside, is formerly Chicago BBW, so that's what I know her by. Um, Pray about it, and then ask God to direct you, and He will direct you where you're supposed to be. That's kind of how I see it. For whatever reason, I was directed back here home to Arizona. Do I know if that's permanent for a long period? I don't know. I'm rolling with the punches of whatever He has for me. Um, but I'm gonna tell you that much, and I'm gonna tell you that you can. Arizona is a very laid back, simple. There are jobs here. I have an associate of mine. Her sister is fighting cancer and moved from Vegas back here to Arizona, and I know she got a job with one of the hospitals here in Arizona, and didn't really take her that long. I'm not going to tell you it's easy getting jobs, but you can get jobs. I got associates of mine who are work from home, and well, they're now work from home, and they switch jobs in the middle of being work from home. I was like, and one of them, she'd been working her company for I forgot how many years, and she's all of a sudden she put in for something else, I guess, and she got a similar job, but it was more money and some other stuff, and it's all work from home. So in Arizona right now, I get alerts all the time through Indeed. So there's stuff all the time, especially healthcare. I don't know what your back. I think your background is something in healthcare, if I remember correctly. If it's in healthcare, there's jobs here in Arizona, and like I said, we are a retirement state. So you've got nursing jobs available to you, whatever level of nursing. I know medical assisting. We have an insurance. We're an insurance state. We have a lot of major insurance companies here. United Healthcare, Aetna, CVS has a huge call center here. Aetna, United Healthcare, Optima Health. What's the other one? Starts with a P. I want to say Progressive. Maybe it's Progressive. One of those. It's here. We've got some major stuff here. We are a call. We've always been a call center state. We always had call center jobs. Banking industry is here. I have a financial institution that I know, a friend of mine, that's an option too. That a couple of financial institutions that I know that are hiring. Um, we have some car companies that are hiring here for call centers and for their service center. So there's jobs here. And I believe there's jobs. You just got to find the states that have them. But a lot of people are getting back to simplicity. So you're going to places like the Carolinas, outer skirts of Chicago, the Illinois area, into more of the country area, and people are wanting to get back to simplicity. So you have a lot of people going homestead now, homesteading, becoming off grid, and I believe a lot of that's happening because people just they want to get back to simplicity. When you what we've gone through in the past year, it makes you take a look at your own morality, your mortality. One should make you look at the morality too. Your mortality, and makes you look at things differently. You just need to find a work from home job, and then your goal should be a work from home job, call center work from home job. And Liz said, "Yes, simple life." And that's really what's missing, is that we're missing the simplicity of it. And that today, what I saw, that was mainly to me, we got to get back to some bare bones basics. Let me kind of show y'all, and I know y'all might think it's strange, but I'm gonna show y'all. So this is kind of, let me see if I can turn it around. So that's one prep area, and that's the other. So I'm turning y'all around. I'm still working on my room, so y'all can see those bags that came from the moving from the storage. But that's one prep area, and that shows you some of what I'm doing. So I got to fill in some gaps, but I have canned goods stacked. I don't have a really good. Let's turn that around. I don't have a good. Lower that a little bit. I don't have a good storage in the kitchen. I don't have a lot of cabinet space, so I bought these shelves. Now that silver shelf is from Walmart. Horrible. You can't see it, but the metal is bowing. The black one is also from Walmart. I have two from black ones from Walmart. Those are good. They were, I think, Hyper Tough or something like that. Those were good. This one was on sale for like under $40, and I should have known something wasn't right because it was cheap. I was like, oh, an industrial shelf for that. Child, that metal is so soft. It ain't even funny. There's a couple of the shells came out bent and dented during shipping. That's how soft the metal is. And then when I put the cans on, I'm like, oh, okay, we won't be getting another one of you. So I bought the same one I had gotten from them initially, which was $46. And had a name brand on the box. This one, the silver one, came in a box with no title on it. That already tell you what you need to know. It was a plain brown box. And the metal, like I said, the metal was bent. They sent me an extra shelf because the one shelf was really bent. But I was able to semi-bend it back by just putting my foot on it and standing on it for a few seconds. And the metal bent back. No. Mm-mm. So that's the only one of those, and I won't be getting another one. But I have the shelves I need. So what I've been doing is I've been storing, and I store canned goods. And every pay period, I usually buy. Well, originally when I started having my dreams, I started buying. I was doing about $100. You, she like, girl, you don't even know that shelf was weak. But I started doing $100 because I started having dreams about food issues. And as we see the lines wrapped around food banks, the sad part is, as Americans, a lot of us were eating out. We really were. I look at my father, he had no food in his house. And we were eating out. We were going out and eating and spending an exorbitant amount of money eating out. And then when this pandemic happened and folks lost jobs, you ain't got no food in your house. Now, you have a moratorium that says they can't evict you, but you can't eat the house. you got to have food. Well, the problem is people getting pizza and chicken and fast food and burgers, and that's what we've been living on. And some folks, and people weren't cooking at home. So now you ain't got no food, and so now people who don't have jobs, or not making the same kind of income they were once making, who've lost their businesses and might be working at the grocery store, because I have plenty of them bagging my groceries right now. God bless them and thank you. But they had their own businesses, and they pulling up to the grocery store to go to work in their bins. Come on now, we're just gonna tell the truth. And now they working, and they don't have enough food to feed the family of five. So now they're in line at the food bank because we don't have any. We're not doing like my grandparents. So I now am doing like my grandparents. And I kind of did that before anyway. I always would move out of place and I had tons of food to give away. I always bought sale canned goods. Unlike my father, when I walked in his house, he only had some water in the refrigerator, some cigarettes, and a couple of tins of something he had gotten either from the ladies from the church or some fast food he picked up. And there was no other food in the house, not even barely any canned goods. I think he had a can of beans, a can of soup, some freezer dried that was frozen and old, TV dinners. He didn't have nothing else in his house to eat. And I asked him, I said, if an emergency happens, what are you going to do? But in a grand scheme of things, there are a lot of Americans that were just like him. And so these Americans are now sitting outside of food banks wrapped around buildings because they don't have any food in the house. That's not good. But it's facts. That's what's happened. So every payday I had been taking, or if not every other payday, I've been taking about $100. And I would, with my regular grocery haul, I reduced what I needed on a regular level, and I was increasing my purchase of canned goods. So I started by building I really was doing Walmart initially, and Walmart actually got me built up. And now that I'm figuring a good 6 months of supplies, I'm now every payday I'm doing anywhere from $5 to $20 worth of canned goods, and I always add to the preps. Now, my pantry is not where I don't use it. If you see some gaps, some of the gaps are there because I rotate through. There's certain canned goods I'm using like every so often. I hadn't had Chef Boyardee in years, but if I want to quick and I'm on lunch and I don't have a lot, you don't have time to cook something during my work time, I'll pop up in one of those Chef Boyardees, heat it up, and boom, lunch is served. I've got a lot of soup right now, so I got Progresso's been on sale a lot, so I've been getting Progresso. I have some no name ones from Walmart, which is what I started with. Some of the no name chicken and chicken noodles, not the best, but it built up my supply. So thank you, Greater Value Walmart. That's how I started building my supply. And I now been doing Progresso. So now I'm at a point where I've got a good 6 months. So now I can bring in what I call the name brand stuff that I like. Like I like Denison's chili in a can. That's like my favorite. They're hot chili. So I can build up the supply with them, but they're more expensive. Black beans, kidney beans, those I don't care whether that's generic or not. Those are usually used if I'm going to usually use that in conjunction with. You're going to make something with it. Maybe a Mexican dish or red beans and rice or something like that. So I'm not worried about that because you end up seasoning beans anyway. Um, Pasta sauce, I did do, I've got like Hunt's, I've got Prego, and I did what I call jar sauce, and then I did canned sauce. Hunt's is okay, it's not the best, but you can mix it and doctor it. And then I do a lot of crushed tomatoes. So I have the big crushed tomatoes. Walmart's, theirs is like 88 cents a can, but there's other name brands, like I got, I think it's something gold on sale, and red gold or something like that on sale there their crushed tomatoes. So now I'm buying more name brand stuff as far as what I like. I also had gotten the Margaret Holmes because I like it's kind of supposed to be a soul food or southern type canned good. I bought their okra corn tomatoes. Not feeling it. It wasn't didn't not it wasn't that it was bad. My issue with it is that when I do okra corn tomatoes, it is like a stew, meaning it's a stick. This was more like a soup. It had more tomato juice to me or tomato liquid, and then it had this much of the actual vegetables. Also, the okra that they used, some of that okra should not have been used. It was too tough. So I won't be buying any more Miss Margaret Holmes. I haven't tried the black eyed pea one though. She does have one something John, Hoppin' John, I think is a black eyed peas, and I haven't tried it. I'm gonna probably bust up in one of those, but I won't be buying any more of her okra corn tomatoes. And then I have one that's triple succotash. I'm probably gonna heat it up, but I think it has lima beans in it, and I am not a lima bean fan. Buy usually what you eat. I'm gonna say that to you. Buy what you know you're gonna eat or you're gonna cook with. And don't just store it. Use it as a rotating pantry. So I actually do rotate through this. I'm not one of those people that urban preppers that got stuff in there with dust on it and they ain't gonna open that can until the world comes to the end. No, get the supplies in the house in case of, and then use them in a rotating fashion. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And what I'm gonna be doing is filling in gaps. So I can show y'all some of that. I do it on my Christian channel to talk about prepping because I do think that everybody should be we use the word prepping now, but I believe that we should have a mindset, especially by what we've gone through and what we're continuing to go through. COVID is not done. And people are thinking, oh, the vaccine, and oh, we're on a new political thing, and oh, we're in a new year. COVID is not done. COVID's not going away. We still have a huge population to get vaccinated. We not only within the US, but outside the US, we're a global community. So even though we see, again, this is our self centeredness, we see only us as US citizens, it's bigger than just us. There's travel that goes abroad, there's business that goes abroad that's overseas. And so we need to see a good vaccination worldwide for this pandemic, and then prayerfully that vaccine is working the way it should and we don't have no other pandemic issues. But we need to do that, and we also need to be walking in some wisdom because a lot of people, I think, after 2020, oh, we're out of 2020, and they think that everything they're going back to normal, like everything is normal. I'm sitting up there going, y'all do realize COVID ain't gone, right? You do realize the hospitals are overwhelmed, right? You realize in California, they telling people they ain't got no room for them, telling the paramedics, hey, if they not at this oxygen level, well, you know, basically let them die at home because we ain't got no room. It's insanity. And so it's almost like we have forgotten, or we've conveniently told ourselves that everything is normal now. It ain't normal. And I'm gonna tell you, and as a meaner friend, there's never gonna be the normal you knew. There's a new normal. There's never gonna be a normal you knew. So um I would challenge y'all to, this is kind of where I'm going. So I'll be showing you that. I'm still organizing the room. I'll probably give you a tour later once I get it organized. I gotta go through these black bags. I look at them all the time, and I'm just totally. Some of this is a little overwhelming for me. I don't like a lot of stuff right now. I've gotten to that kind of minimal thing going on, and I'm looking at it like, oh, I gotta go through that. And some of it I know is probably towels, sheets, and clothes. I'm getting ready to go through this and try to get it organized. But I've kind of been a little lazy lately, and just kind of been kind of tired and a little burnt out. But I need to get back into the groove. I had like a method. And when I brought the big storage unit in, I just looked at it like, I got through all the boxes, and then it was like, so right now I've got some bins in the living room. I got to get through the bags. I just cleaned off the ladder shelf. I have a ladder shelf, and this shelf right here just got washed. This shelf, it's supposed to be, it can hold books or CDs. And I got a bunch of CDs, and I got a lot of books. So I'm going to throw some books on there. Actually, something else I want to do is get back to some reading, some fundamental reading. Um, got some stuff to do. But yeah, I'll be showing you a lot of stuff on here. And like I said, things are changing. I know about the bacon. Edward, I can do some bacon. I didn't think about it. I mean, cookies, I like cookies. I ain't gonna lie. I want to probably experiment with some sugar-free stuff. And I will tell you what I'll probably be using is monk fruit stevia. Um, they have a granulated sugar that I get from Costco. That's what I realized. Oh, I can use that to make a barbecue sauce. So they brought in something that's going to be a little more natural that I could use. So I might be going that route. And then I found some natural unsweetened ketchups. I got to find a cost effective, because I don't want my cost for the sauces to be really high. I want it to be as affordable as possible for a custom home based sauce. Um, yeah, but yeah, and then I'll do a jackfruit. Jackfruit is a lot of vegans and vegetarians use it. You can use it like a sloppy Joe. You could make it into a taco. You can do a lot with jackfruit. Jackfruit can even be used in a stew, and it takes on the flavor of, if how you season it. It'll take on the flavor of however you want to season it. So if you want to season it like it almost looks like a shredded chicken, if you do it right. And I've made tacos with it, which are phenomenal. I've even done kind of like almost like a sloppy Joe with it. So you can do a lot with jackfruit. And then, yeah, we do some cooking and stuff like that. And I do like wine. So we may do like a wine talk. Like I may just say, let's get a glass of wine and let's talk about life. But this channel is going to be just kind of aspects of where I'm at. I'm 52 years old. I'm just living life. And it may have different aspects. I might talk about Christian things sometimes. I might talk about, I don't like to say political things, but I may talk about social things. And it may get a little political, but not political where I want to fight with people. That's not what it's about for me. Um, it's going to get into some food, because yeah, I like food. Preferably if I eventually can get this weight off, I still will like food, and how to do the food in a reasonable manner. I'll probably do like how I do my spaghetti. I don't make spaghetti from the ground up, but I have found some recipes where I'm going to try. I believe I can definitely make spaghetti from the ground up. I just never have. All I usually do is I take like a Prego or the Hunts, I throw it in there, and I throw a can of the crushed tomatoes in, and then I start seasoning. So I use that as a base. But what I think I'm going to do, a friend of mine's husband, she died, Trucker Bill's sister-in-law, actually, she was married to an Italian guy. And Jack made some spaghetti sauce. I don't even know what kind of words I got for you. I don't know, because we all were in the kitchen with pieces of bread after we ate the spaghetti, sopping up the side of the pot. That Italian boy put his foot up in that sauce, and he did it from the ground up. And when I saw what he did, I was like, oh, I can do all that. Although my sauce is good the way I do it, because Prego to me just adds a little bit. It's like a base. Then you got to come in there with your own seasoning, and you got to dress it up, and you got to add stuff to it. And I oftentimes do what I call a vegetable spaghetti. So I'll cook carrots up in there, celery, onions, bell peppers. Sometimes I even cut some jalapenos up in there, and I saute those in the pan, season them, and then I add the sauce. And yeah, it's on and cracking. So just depends on what my mood is. But yeah, I'll cook some stuff like that. Every time with them cookies though. My best thing was smoked meats, but again, I don't have a typical smoker, so I need to play with, if I get the new barbecue grill, what I'm going to be doing, because it's going to be like a ceramic grill, ceramic smoker grill. Like I said, like the green egg. I'd love to own a green egg. Green egg is, and I also do a wood fire pizza, and I have my pizza stone. I unpacked it. It's in there, and I don't know. I have to see if it'll fit the new grill that I have. But I used to do a wood fire pizza. It was good. I learned how to make my own crust, and then I would put on. And I remember one of my neighbors. Actually, he's a truck driver too, and he's retired now. He called me the other day. His name is Larry. Larry had worked for, I think it was First Fleet. I can't remember the name of it. He did something for a groceries. But Larry's retired. He cool as hell. And Larry, he be peeking over the thing. He like, dude, that looks so dang good. I said, you want some pizza? I'll take a piece when you're done. And I made a breakfast pizza. And the guy who used to run the place, he was a veteran. He was retired, and he passed away there at the complex. And I loved him. He was John John. We call him John John. And John John, he came over. Sis, what you cooking? And we had a very diverse. I mean, Larry was African American, John John was African American, but across from me was Anglo chick who worked for. I think she was a driver for FedEx. She's a driver for FedEx. I think she was a driver for FedEx, and she's a driver for FedEx. She lived across the way. Then I had a husband and wife couple. We had a lot of veterans in there. I had a lot of veterans in my complex. I think she was a veteran. John John was a veteran. I don't think Larry was a veteran though. The couple who used to get my packages, they were veterans. We had an older lady there. I haven't talked to her in a while. I need to check on her. She's a Christian lady too. She's a sweetheart, but we all knew each other. That's one of the things I did like about that complex. It was a circular gated community, and everybody in there. Honestly, I was probably the second youngest person in there. There was, I think, a 30-year-old lady in there, and she had issues, but everybody else, we were out 40 plus. And it was really nice because most of my people in there were 50, over 50. And it's a different mindset when you're over 50. I know that now more than ever. But anyway, y'all, let me get my butt off of here. If you watch this later, because we're at 60 minutes, give it a thumbs up, a like, share it out. God bless you. 2 and 2, and I'm going to be posting another video up that I did on my Christian channel. Peace.